Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host. Let's get into this. So, hi guys. No periodic table, no alien talk this evening. However, you already know the creator came through with the message. This message is not from that cluster of downloads from the other morning. I actually got this download today, and I've been getting pieces of the download since around maybe noon, probably a little earlier. All right, people are mixing energies. Actually, this download started yesterday, but I didn't really know what the creator was conveying to me until today. Okay. Energies are being mixed, okay? And this is gonna mean several things, all right? So the first portion or aspect of this is people who are going to be practicing spells. They're going to be doing spells. They're going to be making attempts to attack you, and they're going to be doing multiple spells. They're going to be mixing different spells, and they're going to be mixing your energy with other people's energy, okay? Obviously, if you're the person who's doing the ritual, then this is not for you, okay? But I will tell you that, never mind, you'll figure it out. So just be mindful of the different types of thoughts you may be having, the different feelings, the different places you may be prompted to go, the different concepts or perspectives you may be having or dealing with over the next 2 days, because this is going to be like one of those things that you kind of have to sift through, if that's making sense. These spells, I know for me, are pretty obvious at this point. A lot of people who are not as seasoned, they're not really sure how to differentiate the effects and symptoms of a spell and, just regular life in an actual spell. I look at the effects and the symptoms as separate from the actual spell, because when you are under some sort of attack and it's hitting you, you get a little bit more than the effects and the symptoms. I feel like the symptoms and or the effects are a little lighter. They're more slight, right? They're not as heavy as the actual work, okay? And as you spiritually mature, you'll understand what I'm saying, right? This is going to be also one of those things where you have to be careful of the different prophets you're going to be coming across, or other chosen ones, anyone who has been endowed with spiritual gifts, and they're going to be used by the Creator, the Most High, to use those gifts to bring people closer to Him. Okay, so this is going to be to bring people closer to Him, to ensure people that God is in fact real, to remind people to pray or fast, or kind of just keep them in line, right? Maybe you are in the middle of a fast, right? And you are going on a tangent, and then you might run across a person, and it's okay, let me humble down, right? All of these people have a purpose, but if you pay attention, you don't necessarily always see these people hanging around in clusters, right? Maybe at church on a Sunday, maybe at Juma on a Friday, right? And maybe at Mass, right? On a Friday. But you don't necessarily get to see people with this big energy taking up so much space, because it can cause friction, and not that people can't get along, but mainly because this energy is assigned to certain areas, right? And too much of it can spark a lot of different energy, a lot of different portals. It's alarming to the angels, it's alarming to the jinns, it's alarming to pretty much every single entity and even us. We can feel the high vibrational frequencies that come from people when it's just one, right? So if we get 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of them, in one space, and that energy is not being cultivated properly, then yeah, like, you get my drift, right? Also, a lot of people are going to be getting into these different situations that is going to keep them from mixing their energy with other people. You have to ask the creator, the deal with that, because sometimes the creator doesn't absolutely want you with other people for a certain time period, and sometimes he does, and it's because he wants you to get something done with particular people, and the enemy can be doing everything in his power to make sure that these connections don't happen, okay? So you have to find out where you fit in all of that, all right? Also, when you start looking at different people that you may be coming across, it's possible for you to utilize their energy for something good. A lot of random people use your energy. You don't even know it. You don't know them. You don't know what their intentions are, but the creator does, and it's a part of that free energy that's out into the universe, right? We've talked about that. Some of us, we freely give it out. Some of us, we're very aware and conscientious of how we spend our energy and where we spend it and with whom. But most of that energy comes back to you, especially if it's being used by a person who is high vibrational and they're using it for a good reason. That's a whole different topic. But the gist of this conversation is to be aware of the different tactics to intertwine your energy with other things. And it doesn't even have to be like a person that's practicing witchcraft on you, right? It could be just you being in an environment with highly impressionable people, and they're so impressionable that you let your guards down because you feel comfortable being vulnerable in their space, or because you feel that you may be spiritually compatible with them, or you just may feel like they are high vibrational, so you don't have to necessarily keep your guard up against them. Whatever the reason may be, this is how transfers happen. So I'm just going to warn you right now, because we have been going into this shift, because the vibrations are shifting and everyone is ascending. You might want to be careful with that, because you can accidentally swap with someone. And again, this doesn't mean that they're practicing anything on you, against you, or over you, or behind you, or under you, or around you, right? Those are all kind of different things. But if you understand spirituality and frequency and using your frequency for what it's supposed to be used for, then sometimes, you have to learn that people who study you, right, they know how you move, they know how you think, they know how you function and operate, so they can use their own energy, because they're piggybacking off of you, and make a mistake and steal your energy that way. If the creator has an assignment, and I'm not saying what the creator has for you, you're not going to get it. I'm saying that you need to learn how to hone in, because this is how things get held up from being manifested into the physical. If you're not fully aware of everything you need to be doing in the spiritual realm, then you're in trouble. If you are, then you obviously have this advantage, right? Where you can say, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I know what I want. Although I'm not really up for the job at this moment, I am aware that I have an assignment and I want to make sure that I'm holding up my end of the bargain, and I would like to maintain the vibration, the gifts, the frequency, and the spiritual insight that I have received from the Creator. And that's just not even something you have to say. It's just something you can dredge up, because God is not going to allow you to misuse your gifts in certain spaces. People misuse their gifts all the time, right? But there's instant boomerangs when you go into certain environments, like graveyard, like not even a church, because spirits get excited all the time, like a daycare center, anywhere where there are like a bunch of innocent babies, or like a maternity ward or something like that. If you're gonna be like at the beach, right? These are places that are breeding grounds for energy. And if you are doing low vibrational stuff in these areas, you are not gonna like the end result of it. So my suggestion to you is to be fully aware of the places that you're going in, the type of people that are there. Obviously, we're not going to know everything and everyone and what's going on in these rooms. However, it is imperative that you are aware, okay? Because people have motives. Some people, literally, they're staking out to come and get people that are worthy of attack. And this can range, right? Because everyone has different reasons for why they're stealing energy. And again, this doesn't have to be someone stealing. They could just be impressionable, and you could drop your guard down, and voila, exchange of energy by mistake is happening. So your job is to keep yourself grounded, so much so that these attacks are like using the bathroom, okay? These attacks need to be so familiar to you that you're like, I'm familiar with this energy. I know what it is. It's not even affecting me, right? And this obviously comes with spiritual maturity, and just being a seasoned spirit. This is going to take time. Unless the Creator has just endowed you with some crazy advancement, you're going to have to go through a few stages and phases before you get to yell at people for being in your energy. And before I go, I just want to make sure that we have this understanding, because not many people are aware of their spiritual strength and their spiritual connections. And these are different topics, but once you start getting that experience in the spiritual world, a lot of things are just going to start coming right to you. You're not even going to get it, but as time goes on, you will. All right, but I'm going to end it here. I do love y'all. I hope y'all are getting ready for the weekend, child, because it's Thursday. And I hope y'all are drinking your water, eating your fruit and vegetables, and sipping on your own tea, because it is most definitely free. All right, and I'm out of here. Love y'all. Peace.